Alright lads, so over on the NA version of the game, we actually have a summoning campaign that came with this interlude campaign over here, and I cannot believe I have to say this, but I do not think it is a good idea to summon on this banner, especially considering that we are just a few days away from the Melusine banner coming out and a few weeks from Anniversary, and about a week or two after that we'll have Oberon as well, so there are way too many good stacked banners. In fact, I believe Castoria is even out right now on NA alongside this banner over here. So like, if you're gonna spend on anything, it should probably be that banner and not this one. Look, I get it. Salieri and Canis are on here and they are story lock servants, right? And people really do like Canis. I get it, but it's just not a great banner to be spending your Saint Quartz on. Like, if you want Anastasia, just pick her up during the anniversary, right? Like, you can pick her up as your free 5-star. Like, I feel like it's just that simple. Just don't summon on this banner. But for the like all three of you that are going to summon on this banner, we'll go over the units that are on it and whether or not they're worth summoning for or not, I suppose. The spoilers is no, you do not want to be spending your Saint Quartz on this banner. But again, I'll go over it for the people that are just going to summon on this banner. I don't know who you are or what has possessed you to do something like that, to summon on this banner right now in the middle of all these other better banners. Maybe you lost a bet with the friend. I don't really know, but before we start diving into this, make sure to leave a like on the video and you subscribe to the channel for that sweet daily FGO content. Also, if you want to see me play FGO live, I do that every weekday starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over on my Twitch, which is linked down in the description down below. So make sure you go give me a follow over there as well if you want to see me play FGO and some other games live every weekday. But with that being said, we can start diving right into this. Now, that's not to, like, I'm saying that these are, like, not worth summoning on, but that's not to say that these are actual bad servants, especially Anastasia. Anastasia, you can get some value out of. She is a rather solid servant, not the most broken person, but she has a very solid skill set going for her. I mean, her Pierce Invincibility over here that's also giving her a massive arts buff can be used as a nice steroid if you do need to use her as a wave clear in either more of a boss fight because she does have the Pierce Invincibility, or just normally if you need her to clear some wave when it comes to farming, because she does have a massive 50% battery over here, which is super nice. And again, if you want to use her in more difficult content, she's also got that tech of being able to stun enemies as well, which can be very, very nice. So she can like lock a person down, or you can use her to like clear some waves and stuff like that. It's just kind of like a nice servant to have. I mean, even her charisma over here, I like the way it's built because it's giving herself some really solid damage, and it's going to be multiplying into the arts buff that she has over here to give her some pretty decent damage, I guess. But then if you're going to be using her in more difficult content, she can also reduce the damage that she's going to be taking and all the damage that your allies are going to be taking by cutting down a little bit on the enemy's attack. And then her NP is like solid enough as well. Again, not the most broken thing on the planet, but you know, she is stacking defense down on them, and because she is an art servant where the idea is that you want to be firing your NP numerous turns in a row, theoretically you can build up some extra damage by just firing this NP a couple of times if you want to use her in more difficult content, because she's also got the skill seal over here. Just like overall a very solid servant, nothing too particularly broken going on here, but a 50% battery is very hard to say that that's bad. Like, no one's really going to say no to that. Just having that as a servant in your roster, it's just nice. Her damage isn't the most crazy thing on the planet. I do think that she maybe could use, say, like an NP upgrade over here, that they maybe slap, say, I don't know, a special damage mod or something onto it. I think that could help her out quite a bit. But yeah, just like a very solid, good servant, right? Not the most broken person on the planet, but not all that bad. So if you do decide to go for Anastasia, again, you could just pick her up for free on the anniversary, like free 5-star thing that we're going to be having. I would recommend doing that if you just really are someone who likes Anastasia. Maybe do that to pick her up instead. But for whatever reason, if you're like, I want to pick up Waver or Tamamo or something like that, but Anastasia is also your favorite character, I guess go for it. I don't recommend it. I don't think it's a good idea, but who knows? Maybe Anastasia. You just really liked Lost Belt 1, right? You just thought Lost Belt 1 was really, really nice. Then we have Canis. Now, I did just kind of talk about Canis in the last video I did because she did actually just receive a buff that is rather nice, right? Giving herself the 20% battery and the stars every single turn make her better when it comes to bringing her as a wave clearing type of challenge quest person, because you're really not going to be using her for farming. There's not really a whole lot of appeal to use Canis for farming when her entire kit kind of wants her to be in these longer battles, because as you could see, Canis is a servant that builds up the longer she fights. The more NPs you're firing, the more crit damage you're stacking, the more NP damage you're getting, and then you actually start to get somewhere, right? Like, you do want to be using her in more long form, more difficult content, because she's got really good skills for taking advantage of that, like being able to cut down on a pretty substantial amount of damage with that 3k damage cut and the guts. She's quite nice in these more difficult stages. Again, one of the more annoying things is that she is an AoE servant. I feel like if she was single target, people would use her a lot more as, say, a boss killing servant, or more like a general boss killing servant, because it's not like she's specifically good against things, right? She doesn't have like a damage mod that makes her specifically good against man attribute or against good alignment enemies. She kind of just has a nice general kit, right? Because crit damage generally always going to be very good. Stacking NP damage generally going to be very good. Just big attack buff, big damage cut, nice guts, just all like very generic good things for her to have that are just generally applicable in a lot of different boss fights. She's not bad. Again, do wish she was single target, but you can see some success out of using Canis. And I do know that Canis is rather popular, and I know there probably are going to be some people that will roll on this banner specifically because she is on there, because you're generally not going to get spooked by Canis because she's story locked, right? So I can definitely understand maybe some people summon on this just for her, but I do believe we are getting a 4-star ticket in like a year-ish. A little bit of a cut here because, yeah, we actually do get another SR ticket during the 25 million download campaign. It's the one that brought the double banner over here, the one that had Castoria and then just kind of like the smorgasbord of good units over here. We actually will be getting an SR ticket that, bam, Canis is actually on. So if you are relatively patient, I mean, you got to wait about a year-ish, right? Not too long. If you can wait that length, you can actually go pick up Canis for free. Like, if you're looking at this banner and you're like, man, I really want Anastasia and Canis real bad, you could pick her up for free during the anniversary, and you can get her for free during the 25 million download campaign. Although you will just have to actually wait just a little bit to actually get to that SR ticket, but you can pick her up for free. Finally, there is Salieri. And yeah, he's one of these story locked 3-star servants, very similar to, say, someone like Bedivere. Although, unlike Bedivere, I think Salieri has more of a limited scope of usage. You can technically use him for farming if that is something you want to do with Castoria, because even though his hits are a little bit low, he's got high enough NP gain, and he's got his own self-arts buff over here that basically, as long as you've got that, you could probably farm with Castoria. But honestly, there's probably better people you could be using. Like, you could use Salieri for doing that, but unless he's like one of your favorite characters or you just really like how his design looks, there's not really a point to doing that, right? I mean, and even the 3rd skill buff that he got allows him to do like really big crit damage for like, you know, kind of good burst turns and whatnot. But there's just better people to be using. I agree that I think Salieri's as cool as the next guy, but summoning specifically on this banner just for Salieri, that seems a little bit ridiculous unless you actually like him, because it's not as though he is so good that he is worth going in on this banner specifically to try and get him, right? I don't think he's quite that good, right? He's solid enough, right? You could use him every now and then and he's fun to use, but you definitely have better options. It's kind of just like one of those bait banners they're throwing out here. I haven't talked about Mandricardo because everybody's probably got Mandricardo. He's not like story locked or limited or anything, so I haven't really mentioned him. But like, you know, these guys over here, none of them are like particularly OP or stupid dummy broken that it makes it worth going in trying to get them, right? And even though they have new interludes, it's just not worth spending like 30 Saint Quartz for a multi to then get like 2 Saint Quartz back on the interlude, right? Even if it does help you hit one of the milestones, you're gonna get like what, 12 maximum? because you'll get like the 10 from the milestone and then 2 from doing the interlude. So it's like, it's not even worth as like an investment, right? To try to be like, well, I'm going to summon on them so I can do their interludes to get more Saint Quartz. It's like, bro, you're not going to get that much Saint Quartz back from doing, say, like just Canis's interlude or something. So I don't recommend summoning on this banner at all. Again, if Canis or Anastasia is like your absolute favorite character in the game, you still don't have to summon on this banner because you could scoop them both up for free. One during the 25 million download campaign with the free SR ticket, and the other one you could pick up for free during the anniversary. There's also the fact that Anastasia could spook you on random banners because she's just in the general pool. So like, you could just wait and you'll probably get Anastasia eventually. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. If you did decide to summon on this banner, tell me why, I guess. But then also let me know that you at least did get who you were going for. Because if you are going to summon on a banner that I don't consider to be very good and is not coming out in a very good time, at the very least, I'm going to hope that you get the person you're going for. I'm gonna hope you at least get that much done. But with all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace, late, guys.